time for animal equality, and you can tell because I'm wearing a suit jacket. It is because not only is it our monthly call with Sharon, who we love so much, and Sharon, my video is frozen. That's okay. I'll be right back. There I am. We are excited because it's our monthly call, but because it's our matching gift campaign. And I will just quickly say that you're going to talk about so many achievements that have happened this year, so many wonderful things that animal equality has done, so many animals that have been impacted. And the only way that any of these have happened are because of the people who are viewing this recording, because of our supporters who couldn't make it today, but who support us every day through their generosity. It's because of people like all of you out there in our audience who are streaming on YouTube, Facebook, who have joined through the Zoom webinar. It's each one of you who have made these things possible. And without your contributions, none of the things Sharon is going to be talking about would have happened. We wouldn't be able to do all the amazing work that we have planned for 2023. So if you can consider giving, now is the time. Right now, until June 30th, or up until we reach our goal of $500,000, all gifts will be matched. And if you become a monthly donor, that means your donation month to month for the next 12 months, each month will be matched by the donor. So let's say you gave $60 for the year, that means it'll be $120 in total. So Sharon, thank you again for being on this call. It's so great to see you. I know you're traveling in Europe. We're going to hear a little bit more about that, but thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course, it's my pleasure. I'm in Madrid. Exciting news. I'm have the honor to interview Peter Singer on Thursday in front of about 400 people in Madrid. We're presenting his book, Ethics into Action, about the life of Henry Spira in Spanish. And I'm more than honored to be able to interview Peter Singer and to talk about his life's work and the life's work of one of the animal protection's heroes, that is Henry Spira.
Oh, how exciting. That is an amazing, amazing thing to happen. I'm sure it's a dream come true to spend this time with him. This relationship with Peter, it's the book you mentioned. Can you talk a little bit more about that? I think I froze there. So Sharon, it's so great to see you, and thank you so much. And the Peter Singer call, having that moment with Peter Singer is so great. And the book tour, can you talk a little bit more about the book?
Of course. So the book was written by Peter Singer, and it's called Ethics into Action. And it's about Henry Spira, who was an activist in the 1970s and the 1980s. And the 1990s, and probably one of the most effective activists that our movement has ever had. So he was helped end the use of animals in vivisection in the New York History Museum of Art. He helped pass companies to end and ban vivisection and find alternatives to animal experiments. And funny is that he met Peter Singer, because he was a student of Peter Singer at university, and Peter Singer became so inspired and such a good friend of Henry Spira that he ended up writing a book about him. So the teacher writing a book about his student is very inspiring, and it's a desk side book for any activism, for any activist, because there's so much freshness. Even if they're campaigns from the 80s and the 90s, there's so much freshness to the approach and so much strategy behind what one single person, Henry Spira, was able to achieve, and a reminder of what we can achieve as individuals, as a team, and even more as a movement.
You know, you gave a really powerful speech at the AVA conference last year that included some notes about Henry Spira and activists and how they can make a difference. And, you know, having you spend this time with Peter Singer just reminds me that each one of our supporters, each one of the people who are watching this video now are an activist. Each one of these people of the people who care about the work that animal equality does, each one of you is an activist. And so to be inspired in this way, to move forward, to put your needs second to the needs of animals is an amazing thing to see. And it's an amazing thing to see mobilized. And we're so grateful to have each of you on our side. So right before Sharon gets into this talk, I just wanted to mention that again. This is our matching gift campaign. We really, really, really appreciate the support you've given us in the past. We would love to have it in the future as we move forward. So if you have considered giving, but have not yet in this month of June, where all donations are being matched, please do so. A little bit later in this call, we're going to have two very special guests. We're going to have our executive director from Brazil, Carla, and our director of policy in India, Amruta, joining us. And Sharon will talk more about that in just a minute. But Sharon, why don't you jump into your update? And whenever you're ready, Sharon, you can jump into your update.
I'm ready. So yeah, I just want to kind of underline some of the words that Ollie said. It's a critical time for animals. It's a critical time to be able to help them. And any donation that you can make to animals, you have Animal Equality's commitment that we will do everything in our power as activists to make the most of that donation. And in this case, it'll be doubled. So you'll be able to impact double the programs, double the campaigns, double the investigations. I myself donated $100 because I believe in this organization and in all of you so much. So please contribute, and thank you so much for listening. And I'll speak a little bit about our most recent work. And some people have told me it's surprising that I'm speaking about things that have just happened in the last month, but it's true. If you joined our weekly meetings, I generally start the weekly meetings saying there's so much happening this week. So what we're seeing today is actually a summary of what we've been able to accomplish and win for animals over the last month. I will share that this is breaking news, and that there is some graphic photos. Okay, so I'm going to start with one of the most important aspects of our work, that is encouraging people around the world globally to try plant-based, to take animals like this pig with beautiful eyes off their plate. So what is some of the work that we're doing with that? Well, just in the last month, we have 63,000 new subscribers to our Love Veg program. This is a program where we are sending people almost weekly information in order to get them to have a well-balanced, well-organized vegan plant-based diet with all of the information that they need. We've had 264,000 plus website. Our Love Veg website is in our 8 countries, and we've had 264,000 website views. And then we've had 85,000 downloads of, you can't see it there, I apologize, of recipe books. So we've come up with recipe books in Spanish, in Spain, in Mexico, in Brazil, and people are devouring the recipe books. So we're very excited about continuing this plant-based work, and we're currently working to innovate using ChatGPT and artificial intelligence as a way to encourage people and motivate people to try plant-based and make it easier for them. So iAnimal, for those of you who don't know, iAnimal is a virtual reality project that Animal Equality developed. And basically, we immerse people in the reality of a factory farm and a slaughterhouse. And the iAnimal has the power to transform individuals. I've seen people cry. I've seen people say they're never going to eat animals again because they are put in a factory farm with this 360 device. And studies even show that when you watch something on a 360 device, you process it as a memory. So it's very, very powerful. And I wanted to share, this is our team in Germany. Just this weekend, they've just finished picking up in Berlin at the Berlin Vegan Festival with our booth and sharing iAnimal, the realities and the cruelties of factory farming with dozens of people.
And Sharon, I want to mention too, I know there's going to be a lot of amazing updates you're going over. If any of our supporters, either on this call or on any of the platforms that we're streaming on, have questions, please do ask them within the medium that you're watching on, and one of our team members will relay the questions to us, and we'll have Sharon answer those at the end of the call today.
Absolutely. This is our team in Italy with Matteo Cupi, who's our vice president for Europe. Animal equality is part of the End the Cage Age initiative. It's an initiative to end cages throughout Europe, cages for hens, cages for pigs, etc. This is one of the most cruel practices that exists, extreme confinement to animals. Just imagine being your entire life locked in a cage that is so small that you can't even turn around. So we met the representatives of the ministries. That's what you can see in this photo, the ministries of Agriculture and Health. And we delivered these 110,000 plus signatures. And they recognize the importance of this issue, of the animal welfare issue, and the importance of eliminating cages in Europe. And we're going to be presenting, again, a big week, we're going to be presenting also in the Spanish Senate. That will be my colleague Javier Moreno, who will be speaking in the Senate on Thursday morning about the need in the Spanish Senate, about the need to end cages in Europe. In the US, we're campaigning nonstop. You probably know that animal equality in the US is focused on eliminating gestation crates. As I said before, these are basically cages for pregnant mother pigs that spend their entire pregnancy, that lasts about 4 months in a cage, and they go back to that cage after every pregnancy. So they basically spend their entire lives in a cage. I talked about this. This is a Denny's protest that we did last month, and we'll have 4 more protests organized. So please check them out on our website in Chicago, Los Angeles, Raleigh, and I can't remember the 4th place, but it's on our website. So please help with this campaign. It is critical that we get fast food chains to eliminate gestation crates, and we then move on and continue getting retailers to eliminate gestation crates for mother pigs. So this is a key campaign to win Denny's. We know that after Denny's, many other companies will follow. So please support in any way you can, attending any of the protests, and of course, making a donation so we can travel to protest. This is a protest in Vegas, that we can print the billboards, so we can send our activists and our volunteers there. So thank you so much for everyone who's contributing, and you'll hear a lot about the Denny's campaign in the next few weeks. And we launched a dairy investigation, a global dairy investigation, with the wonderful Richa Moorjani. Richa Moorjani is an actress, but the most important thing is she's an activist. She's a dedicated activist committed to ending cruelty to animals. And we did an investigation inside dairy farms in India, and Richa Moorjani not only presented this investigation, but she also showed the footage that we've gathered over the years in the UK, in the US, in Mexico, of the inherent cruelty of dairy. And Richa encourages us all to watch the footage and do what she did, that is, try plant-based options. So very proud to continue working with her, and very proud of continue working with big names that really put the message out there.
Two quick things. Dane chimes into the call. Hello, Dane. Thanks for joining, to say that the 4th protest is in Conway, Arkansas. So thank you, Dane, for that. Dane, is always, if you probably know Dane as if you're an animal protector, she'd be the person that's sending you the actions each week to take part on behalf of animals, including speaking against Denny's. And so thank you, Dane, for making that chime in. And then in terms of Richa, you informed everybody about this investigation. You informed our exclusive supporters on one of our calls a few weeks ago. And I just want to reiterate, if you want to become a member of Animal Equality, donate monthly. That way you can get access to these calls and get these exclusive updates and get information like Richa's investigation before the rest of the world sees.
Yeah, and this investigation, I'd really recommend everyone to watch it to know what we're really talking about when we're talking about the dairy industry globally. This is not an issue only in India. This is a global issue. And one of the things that we filmed was how mothers who had just given birth and had been separated from their babies, they had got their babies, killed them, stuffed them, and put them close to the mothers to have the mothers believe that their babies are still alive and get them to produce milk. So this is the level of cruelty that these animals endure. There's absolutely no words for it in my mind. And the need for investigations is as important as ever. We need to show people what is happening in slaughterhouses, in farms, in dairy farms, in pig farms, and we need to get the word out there. And Richa, we're very grateful that she's helped us achieve that, and of course, promoting a strong plant-based message. This is in Spain, as I mentioned. We'll be speaking on Thursday. Javier Moreno, one of our founders and director of communications in Spain, will be speaking, not tomorrow, Thursday, in the Spanish Senate against cages. Animal equalities, one of our most important strategic priorities is to end extreme confinement for animals. There's nothing cooler for an animal, for anyone to spend their life in a cage. Mexico. So Mexico is always good news. We have introduced yet another bill, this time in the state of Puebla, and this bill would affect 114 million animals when passed. And I say when passed because we've never had a bill introduced that has not passed in Mexico, or I think at least we haven't. I would say all of them have passed, if not 99% of them. And this bill is particularly important because we were able to get Puebla to consider animal cruelty a crime. But what the bill that we're introducing now would make animal protection a chapter in the Puebla law, meaning that they would be recognized and their protections would be recognized in the law. So this is hugely, hugely important. And here we have Jan and Dulce in Puebla just a few days ago introducing this bill, introducing this initiative that again will affect 114 million animals. And when you're donating to animal equality, this is the kind of work that you're supporting, that you're making possible. Literally, people traveling over the night to get to the Senate, to get to a Congress, to introduce a bill. Dulce was filming on the field, and the following day she was at the Senate in Puebla introducing the bill. And this is what animal equality is. We are very, very we know we are activists and we fight for animals. So when you are supporting animal equality, we give it all. Excellent news on the European front. Here we can see Javier again from Spain, and Mateo, who's our Vice President for Europe. Animal equality, we launched, I would say a shocking, a brave initiative. We ask the European Union basically to consider that growing chickens or exploiting chickens to grow so big, so fast in such a short period of time, it is calculated that these animals are suffering from day 7, actually went against European animal welfare law. That was our claim. And what you can see here in this picture is the suffering these animals endure. This is probably a baby, maybe 12 days old, 14 days old. And because of his or her weight, they've collapsed, and they'll probably have their sitting on their own manure, and they'll probably have trouble eating and getting to water. So they'll probably die in the next few hours. We are committed to helping chickens worldwide. And the good news is that the petition will remain open, meaning that the European, as part of a revision that the European Commission is doing to animal welfare laws in Europe, they will include and consider the fact that growing these animals in this way is maybe illegal, may not be aligned with European legal standards. So that is great news.
And I want to mention too,
Go ahead,
Sharon,
please.
Yeah, you had some pictures you had some pictures within your slides that you had activists on the ground in front of Denny's with animal equality t-shirts and protest signs. You had celebrities who are endorsing us, who are talking about our work, and then you have our activists in Parliament, in the judicial areas of the countries that they're working in, working with lawmakers. So you see how our approach is. Our approach is a full spectrum approach. We are on the ground, we are working within the communities to get things done, but we're also working at the very top of the legal process to make sure that laws are passed. So all of these things are made possible. I know, Sharon, you like to talk about, we are activists, but we're suits, we're professional activists, and you see that in our work. Not only are we going door to door and hand to hand in terms of information, but we're also, using every avenue possible, from working with celebrities to working with change makers within different parliaments and different lawmaking facilities. And so we're very, very fortunate to be in this position because we have the resources, because our donors have given us the resources to empower our work, to allow us to make this full spectrum impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. We call it internally dirty hands, clean hands, meaning when we have to do investigations, like in the case of Dulce, we do investigations. I've done investigations, Dulce's done investigations. Most of our directors have been involved in some kind of investigations. We believe it's very important to know the truth firsthand. But at the same time, if we have a politician or if we have to speak with someone in the street and encourage them to try plant-based eating, we'll do it. We're here for the animals. And with that, I will pass it on to someone very special to me who joined and to animals, who joined Animal Equality. I think it's about 2 years now. And this is Carla Lettieri. She's going to be talking with us today about some of the absolutely incredible work that Carla is doing in Brazil. So let's invite Carla in.
And Carla, can you hear us? I know you're just joining.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Carla.
Hi,
Thank you for being here.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Ali. How are you?
Very good, very good. Carla, why don't you start talking a little bit about what brought you to dedicate your life to animals, as it says in this slide, dedicating her life to animals. What made you dedicate yourself to animals in the way you do?
Oh, first of all, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. We pretty much appreciate your support to animal equality, especially in Brazil, where we have so much animals being exploited every year. So regarding this question, I always loved animals, all kinds of animals. But as many people in our world, I couldn't link my passion and love for animals and my hypocrisy eating animals. So I started to be vegetarian for real after several attempts 12 years ago. But I was vegetarian, and I knew I should give a step forward. But it was only in 2019, by watching many documentaries, or which I have to say I avoided to watch to them because I knew there was a lot of suffering involved. And when I finally got the courage to watch them, I realized that I couldn't be apathic anymore. I should take an action, and I started to looking for a way to make this dream to happen, and maybe, just maybe, to compensate the harm that I unconsciously or consciously have done to them. And fortunately, I had the honor to join the team of animal equality in Brazil, leading the office here. And I couldn't be more proud of the work we do. I believe that we are so passionate and so determined to make the difference for animals that we are working our limits. So with your support, with the cheers and the cherish we receive from the people that support our work, animal protectors and donors, we are able to do the impossible.
Talk to us a little bit, Carla, and having you in the organization is wonderful and honor. And we're all learning so much from you because of your background and your knowledge on politics. Talk to us about some of the most important work, and there's some slides we've added here, some of the most important work that you're currently doing in Brazil.
Yes, sure. Yes, in firsthand, tomorrow we will release an investigations on the situation of hens in cages. So it's going to be a breaking news investigations, and I believe this is the one of the most complete we have done, because it shows the whole cycle of the exploitation the hens are subject to. We had the honor to have a great celebrity, Xuxa Meneghel, and she is the voiceover of this investigation. Yes, you can pass. Thank you. We also are working to include animal welfare standards in the free trade agreement that is being negotiated between Mercosur and the European Union. This free trade agreement is being negotiated for 20 years, and it's very close to be ratified. It has been signed by all countries, but it only enters into force after being ratified, and this is probably going to happen in the end of this year. And animal equality, along with other animal protection organizations such as Mercy for Animal, World Animal Protectors, and others, are claiming that the European Union established mirror clauses. What does it mean? That means that all countries that export animal protection products to Europe should follow the same European standards, and they are very high. If this happens, it's going to benefit millions of animals, not only in Brazil, but in Mercosur countries. I think there is another slide. Yeah.
There it is.
And as most of you know, we also advocate in the legislative field to increase the animal welfare standards and to protect animals from cruelty. And among many bills, we are advocating for the approval of the bill to ban horse meat in Brazil. It's not an easy task. Working in the legislative field in Brazil is risky because we have a very powerful lobby from the rural branch, but we are determined to approve this bill and many others that can increase the protection levels for animals here in Brazil.
And as a reminder, Animal Equality has a global campaign against horse meat And we've also launched an investigation into a slaughterhouse, horse slaughterhouse in Mexico recently. And we were also able to prove that US horses end up being killed in other countries. So it's a very important campaign, and of course being supported legislatively in Brazil. And what about Love Veg, Carla?
Yes, this is a wonderful project. We are very excited to work on this because we know that our work would be useless if people do not choose to take animals out of the place. So we also have to educate people that is not conscious enough about the reality of animals, and including the people that are aware of the cruelty to the animal suffering, the industry, but they do not know how to give the first steps. So Love Veg is an amazing project to help people to make this transition, because we know it's not easy. The products that are offered in retailers, they are very oriented to animal protein. So we have to make sure people will understand that this is not a difficult choice. This is a choice made from the space of compassion, but it can be wonderful and healthy if people understand how to do it in a safe way. So we are very proud of this project.
Thanks you so much, Carla. And I'm going to ask you to stay on because we'll have some questions at the end. Ollie, you wanted to say something?
I was just going to say, before we get to Amruta, I want to thank some donors who had given most recently while we've been speaking. We have Vicky, who is a monthly donor. Thank you. William, who gave a donation. Haley,
Vicky,
monthly donor. Thank you. J-Ram. Jacqueline, monthly donor. Pile, thank you, monthly donor. Thank you all for becoming a member of Animal Equality. It means so much to us, as you were hearing Carla speak about all the amazing work that's been happening in Brazil. These donations are going to help empower not only that work, but the work upcoming that we're going to be talking with Amruta. So I'm going to invite Amruta in. Give me 1 second here. And Carla, you know, it's just so amazing. These calls are breaking news. There's breaking news on these calls all the time, and it's just it's amazing to see. And thank you again for breaking the news about the new henna investigation. We're so thankful for that. Yeah, we're just waiting here for Amruta. We just have a lag here just because she is all the way in India. We're getting this connected. Here she comes.
She is.
Amruta, great to see you. Thank you so much for being on the call and for joining us today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And I'm very excited to be a part of this today.
I must say that Amruta is one of my favorite people and activists.
Hi, everyone.
She has been in animal equality for 12 years, and we've been through everything together. And I'm so proud to have her on the call, that all of our supporters here in the US and abroad meet her. And I'll pass it on to you, Amruta. Why did you decide to dedicate your life and sometimes even risk your life to help animals?
Thank you, Sharon. So for me, being of service or giving back to the society is of utmost importance. This is a value which has been embedded, during the course of our childhood by my parents. And I feel inculcating compassion towards animals who are the most helpless and defenseless beings of our society is my purpose. And that is why being a part of animal equality is in perfect alignment with my purpose.
Wonderful. And so inspiring. And we share that purpose, that life vision that is hard, but also gives your life so much sense and meaning, right? And with all of the impact that you're having. And Amruta is making the impossible possible in India. And I want her to talk a little bit about some of the work that you're doing. And we can start with cages, and you can continue, Amruta, sharing anything you want to share with our supporters.
Mm-hmm. So one of the projects which I'm very excited about this year is our corporate outreach work. When we started this project in India back in 2018, it was a relatively new concept. Companies were rarely approached by NGOs to introduce policies. It was new for us and new for the companies. And though we had a framework on how to work with the companies, we did face challenges like there was not enough production and supply of cage-free eggs. We then started persuading egg producers to go cage-free so that we could address this gap. Thanks to this work with the egg producers, 5,000 hens have moved in a cage-free housing system this year. With food companies, we've shifted our focus to transitioning more than persuading them for a policy, which usually happens in a lot of other countries. And I'm very happy to announce that we have 3 companies this year that have made a very significant transition. So we have St. Regis in Mumbai, which has gone 80% cage-free. We have also Intercontinental in Mumbai, which has gone 20% cage-free. And we have Four Seasons in Mumbai again, which has gone 60% cage-free. Since 2018, we have seen companies now understanding the importance of introducing welfare standards, and now it is common knowledge. The corporate outreach work has been a revolution of sorts, and the journey will only be upwards, onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. Talk to us about the Love Veg initiative in India, where you've got so many celebrities involved in promoting plant-based eating.
So as a part of our Love Veg campaign in India, we have launched a 21 days plant power challenge in which celebrities and influencers give this challenge to the viewers. We've had several Bollywood actors, television and OTT platform actors. We've also had sports, nutrition and fitness experts who have taken this challenge. Some of them who are vegan have given the challenge to the viewers, and the others who are not vegan have taken this challenge themselves and also in turn given the challenge to the viewers. During this entire process, we've had several videos with these celebrities and influencers, and some of the videos also focus on these public figures trying delicious plant-based alternatives to meat, dairy, and eggs, and they also share their views on the food. This has motivated many viewers, and we've received comments from them saying that they are now considering vegan, or they've turned vegan, or they've turned vegetarian, or they're looking at reducing their consumption of animal products. So overall, it has been very positive.
And we're talking about, if you go into our YouTube Animal Equality India, we're talking about thousands and thousands of views of these videos with Bollywood actors and promoting plant-based eating. Anything else that you want to share with us today, Amruta? Sorry, I passed the slide too quickly.
No worries. I think that's all I have to share. I won't take much time.
Oh, Amruta,
Okay.
we're so grateful to
I think we lost Carla.
We did, and we're so grateful to have you, Amruta. You were doing such amazing work. The whole India team in India is doing such amazing work. We're so proud of you, proud of everything that you're doing, the impact that you're making. Thank you so much for joining our call today and for being such an amazing advocate for animals.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, goodbye for now, Amruta.
So
oh, you did? You have a question for her?
No, it's fine.
Okay, all right.
I did actually. I wanted to ask you, Amruta, you've been through so much in this journey in your activism, and we sometimes talk about the Gadi Mai festival, that is the biggest ritual slaughter of animals in the world. And Amruta has risked her life alongside other activists in order to film it and managed to get a significant decrease in the amount of large animals and land animals that were being used and killed in the Gadi Mai slaughter. She's also been key to pass a ban of foie gras in India. to an initial ban on bull cart racing and all of the work that we're doing with companies and promoting veganism. But I want to ask you, Amruta, I don't think I've ever asked you this, so I ask you as a colleague, what are you most proud of that you've achieved at Animal Equality? What is your moment of pride?
I think over the years, we have managed to achieve quite a bit despite all the obstacles which we have faced, especially in a country like India. For someone from a developed country, the view of India is very different, but we do face a lot of obstacles. Many of the times people think that vegetarianism is synonymous to India. The concept of animal rights is very familiar in India, but as we are getting a lot of Western influence in India, that unfortunately is decreasing. We've had several achievements with the government. We've successfully persuaded them to pass certain orders, like you mentioned, Sharon. If I have to just choose one accomplishment which I'm really proud of, I would say it is the dairy investigation which we released earlier this year. I remember we presented our first dairy investigation back in 2017, and the impact back then was enormous. It was probably the first time ever the plight of farmed animals was shown on a television news channel. And we received hundreds of comments on our social media in which people said that they were not aware of these cruelties which take place in the dairy industry, and that they will stop consuming dairy products. And some said that they will reduce their dairy consumption and replace it with plant-based alternatives. So this is a similar experience and impact we've had with our recent dairy investigation too. And I think it is very effective to reach out to millions of people with the media outreach work which we do. We, of course, do a lot of educational activities here in India, but I think every time we have a news article, or if we have our footage which is shown on news channels on the television, I think the impact is very far and wide. And I'm very proud to say that these are the few instances where the plight of farmed animals is shown on these channels, on these newspapers. It is a revolution of sorts. Earlier, I remember at the most, if there was any news which was covered, it would be regarding wild animals, or in rare cases it would be something about stray animals. But now, from the past few years, we've been seeing the media covering more about farmed animals. So I'm very hopeful with this big progress which we are seeing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amruta. We just had a comment from a viewer in India. Their name is Kushagra, and they just wanted to comment that they're very grief-stricken by the cruelest behavior with animals, they say, in India, and obviously with everything that Amruta and the team are doing to alleviate that suffering. I hope that makes you feel okay, Kushagra.
And when you're supporting animal equality now more than ever, because you could double your impact, you're supporting strong leaders like Carla and like Amruta and many other of our leaders around the world that are doing everything they can to help animals. So please support animals by supporting our work and our leadership in Brazil, in India, and in many, many other countries. Thank you so much, Amruta.
Thank you, Amruta. Thank you. And again, while Amruta was speaking, we've had a lot of recent donations that I just want to quickly mention. Muhammad for a monthly donation, Elaine one-time donation, Molly monthly donation, Claire one-time, Michael.
Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Molly.
Thomas, Kylie.
Wow.
Nancy, thank you all. And as a reminder, every one of the donations
Nancy.
that are received by Animal Equality in June will be matched by a generous donor up until $500,000 or until June 30th. So If you want to contribute, you want to be part of this movement of everything that animal equality is doing to make a difference for animals, now is the best time to give. As you heard from Amruta, as you heard from Carla, animal equality is spanning the globe, and the impact that we're having. Millions and millions of animals are being impacted. And I know it's a large number, but just think about the stories just like this picture that you see right in front of you of the individual animal whose life matters, whose life is being impacted by the work of animal equality. Sharon, we have some questions from the audience I wanted to bring into play. We have a guest who's on the call here asking about any updates concerning the EATS Act that is happening right now in Congress.
I don't have any updates at the moment. I was actually reading about the EATS Act this morning. For those of you who don't know, though most of you probably do, the EATS Act would make it impossible for states like California to demand other states to only export products from animals that have not been confined in cages. So this is an ongoing battle of the meat industry. They tried to take down Prop 12, California, the most revolutionary law regarding animals in the world, that banned not only the production of products of animals in cages, but also its sale. It was upheld regardless of the attempts by the industry, was upheld by the Supreme Court, and now we're facing the EATS Act, where again the meat industry is trying to put restrictions to what states can the ethics that a state decides to have within its boundaries. So we're fighting against it actively. We have an article. If you actually put EATS Act on Google, the 4th article to appear is animal equalities, and you'll have. I recommend you read it. I've read it several times. It's written and reviewed by our advocacy legal counsel, Sarah Hennigan, who is completely involved. We're actually sending out some appeals this week, asking people to protest the EATS Act.
Thank you, Sharon. And along the lines of Prop 12, I had a question here. With Prop 12 being upheld by the Supreme Court, what other legal initiatives are animal equality working on in the U.S.?
Sure. So we're very focused in Animal Equality as an organization that works in coalition with dozens of organizations. We're supporting any effort that is being made to eliminate extreme confinement within the U.S. We're also working to get a foie gras ban in Vancouver in the state of Washington, and also in Portland to get a foie gras on a ban on the sale of foie gras. And then very recently, we've started working on specific criminal procedures against farms and slaughterhouses who have abused animals and broken the law, and creatively come up with legal strategies to hold abusers and the owners of these farms accountable. So our legal team is small. It's 3 people, but they're working very, very, very hard. I sometimes am amazed about what a committed group of 2 or 3 people can achieve when they really have a vision and when they really have a mission in common.
Yeah, and we really do have a small but mighty team, and that's across the board, and that includes our work to convince companies to adopt better policies. And so we have a question here about that. So Animal Equality has done such an amazing job in that realm. It says, how many animals are usually impacted by these corporate policies?
That's such a good question. It depends. We have policies that impact a few thousand animals. We have policies that impact millions of animals. So when we get a big retailer in any of our countries to commit to eliminating cages from their supply chain, cages for hens, this can impact anything from 11 to 50 million animals. So it's in the millions, and Animal Equality we consider ourselves a highly, highly effective organization, and we're focused on interventions that can have the biggest impact. So therefore, the focus on Denny's, the focus on getting legislative change in Mexico, trying to introduce a bill to ban cages in Brazil. We want to make sure that when you support animal equality, we are doing the best work possible to get animals out of extreme confinement, and also to promote plant-based eating. There's no animal protection, there's no animal rights if we continue eating animals and eating their products, as we can see with this baby lamb in the photo. This was a lamb rescued by Animal Equality. These animals are innocent, they've done nothing, and they deserve to live.
Yeah, with policies that Animal Equality has had a hand in changing, over 500 million animals have been impacted through our work over our history, and that's such a phenomenal number. And again, it's a huge, insurmountable number in your mind, but just bring it back to the picture in front of you.
The lamb.
This is the animal. These are the type of animals that we're helping. And speaking of, diet change and trying to move away from people using animals in our food system, I have a question here. I know you talked a little bit about this earlier, but what is Animal Equality doing to get the word out about the benefits of plant-based diets?
Great question. We're doing so much. So first of all of our communications around the world include a diet change message. Animal Equality is sending, I would say, about 4 to 5 emails around the world every day. If you can subscribe to Italy, to Germany, to our US newsletter, and you will be receiving information every day about the work that we're doing, about the animals' needs, and also about diet change. And always linking it to pages, our Love Veg pages, where people can find very useful information on how to make the transition. At the same time, we have published vegan cookbooks in many countries, and we ask people to subscribe to our newsletter to get a free cookbook. And once they've subscribed to the newsletter, they get a series of emails, a series of communications about how they can transition to plant-based eating, or to a more conscious eating, reducing the amount of animal products on their plate. And one of the most powerful things are investigations, undercover investigations that at Animal Equality include a strong diet change message. It's very difficult, I think, to look at a lamb like this one in the eyes and say, well, I'm going to kill you and eat you, or someone else is going to do it. So we're very focused on using the footage of our open rescues and our investigations as proof not only of the pain that these animals endure, but also of the possibility of a life. This lamb lives in a sanctuary now. The potential of every single life, every single sentient life that should be respected.
Absolutely. And Sharon, if you don't mind me breaking just a little bit of news here. So we're also hopefully going to be having a US-based Love Veg cookbook soon. And the first people who are going to have access that are exclusive donors, our monthly donors, our mid-level major donors. So if you want to be part of that crew, now is the time to get early access to this amazing, amazing cookbook in the US, and all the other perks, including this call, which we do monthly. Right before we sign off here, I just want to do another quick shout out to some donors. Dean, thank you, monthly donor. Susan, thank you for becoming a donor. Bonnie, Joni, Adina, and we just had on YouTube Maya, who said that she has become a monthly donor. So Maya, thank you very much. So generous of you.
We'll be hearing from our wonderful Crystal Barnett, who is the joy of monthly donors, and she'll be reaching out to you promptly to thank you and to learn more about you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Valentina, who gave us some best wishes. Thank you, Valentina. And every one of you who donated today or will before the end of this month, remember your donation will be matched up until $500,000. I'm going to say a few quick things, and Sharon, I'm going to pass it on to you. each and every one of you is so special to us in our work. There would not be the impact that animal equality has every single day without you. We wouldn't have team members like Carla without Amruta being able to be here today to tell you all the amazing things that are happening in their countries. There would not be animals impacted. There would not be people changing their diets. There would not be laws created without you. You are the key to all the work that we do. We need you. We need your support. We need your love. I have a cat tail in my face. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. And Sharon, I want to give you the final word. Thank you for being here today.
Of course, yeah, thank you so much. You know, I decided about 22 years ago that I would dedicate my life to animals, and I haven't stopped since. And this is the commitment that we have at Animal Equality. Yes, we're professional, but we're professional activists. We're here for the animals, and I encourage you to support us in any way that you can. In this case, with the Matching Gift Challenge, making a donation, becoming an animal protector, joining our calls, joining our volunteer orientation programs, because animals have very, very few of us defending them, and they need you, and they need every single person that you can impact and that you can get to help them. So thank you so much, everyone. Please contribute to our Matching Gift Challenge. It's an absolutely unique opportunity to impact double the amount of animals. So please donate and support the work of our teams.
Thank you all for your support. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.